how to defend yourself with a long piece of wood. This happens to be the Japanese Joe, which is a medium-sized martial arts staff. You're gonna warm up with your hand in the middle. You can get a dowel rod from the hardware store, any kind of stick. The reason I like learn how to stick fight training is because you can pick up any stick to defend yourself when you need to. Could be against a knife. You're gonna have a reach advantage. You can have multiple attackers. You move very quickly with your strikes. It can be a vicious animal. You can be out for a run. The dog out on the loose, able to defend yourself very quickly with just a medium-sized stick. Now this also can double as a hiking stick. I'm gonna show you how to do that. A hiking stick or a walking stick. So start with this warm up. When you learn how to stick fight, you need to properly condition and warm up all of the tendons, the joints, everything in your hand especially. Hand, wrist, fingers, elbows. You get that here in this turning motion. You're gonna build this power, build this strength. Do this for 30 seconds per hand. That's my right hand, here's my left. So you can go side to side. Literally, it's just turning up and back. The faster you go, start slowly, but the faster you go, as you warm up, increase your speed. More speed means more mobility, more flexibility in those wrists, elbows, shoulders, arms. Squeeze your belly up and in, keep it tight, shoulders back and down, pull your chin back, breathe. Through your nose, out the mouth. Properly train, condition yourself. Greetings, it's good to see you. Going side to side. And then I'm gonna pass it from one hand to the next. This is all part of the warm up, and it's gonna double as a way to move the staff from one side of the body over to the other. Your medium-sized staffer, this Joe, when you learn how to stick fight, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a martial arts piece of wood from a martial arts store. If you want to see what these cost, I put a link below, but you can pick up a dowel rod from the hardware store. I have plenty of them in the corner. You pick it up, you sand it down, you put some linseed oil or mineral oil or even coconut oil. That'll make it more flexible and strong. And then you have a very quick, powerful self-defense tool that you can take with you most places that you go. If you're a runner or a jogger, and I see this down here in South Florida because there are dogs that get out, and they happen everywhere, right? And we see story after story after story about a mauling against somebody. It can even be a fit person. You get the 2 or 3 of those pit bulls, they lap. So what you wanna have some options, right? A simple stick, putting that just in the nose, a fast strike, a clearing, sweeping motion. In fact, just carrying it is gonna make you less and less of a target. So we're doing this warm up first. Now that you're warmed up, I wanna talk about 3 ways that you're gonna hold your stick, your walking stick, hiking stick, or this Japanese Joe, this medium-sized staff. 3 ways to hold the stick when you're learning how to stick fight or you're learning how to defend yourself, stick fight training. The first one is gonna be in front of your body. So it's gonna be in the front hand and you carry it just like a walking stick. You place it in front of you and then you walk up to it. That's how we use a hiking stick, right? You might be hiking, you might be walking. They don't know, this is also your self-defense tool. You're putting it in front of you when the threat comes close enough or you feel like there's a threat. Good morning, it's good to see you. You're gonna point your thumb at the threat. It's as simple as that in order to get the other hand on it. Now, one hand is gonna be enough for a fast, explosive strike. This is the first thing you can practice. From this front hand, straight in. If you think about what you're doing, it's this hard shelf. This is red oak, this hard piece of wood going up. Think about your targets. Nose, eyes, teeth, throat for self-defense, solar plexus, and it's a straight line. This first thing right here, that's the most effective that you'll do if it presents itself, if the target's there. Talk about situation awareness, paying attention. Number 2, getting in a better position, stick between you and the threat. Number 3, pick a target. Find a target, acquire a target. Target practice, right? If you're practicing, say this is the eyes, throat, the brain is in there. You can shut that off. You're out of the woods, right? You're not any longer in danger for self-defense. Pointing this thumb pops it into that back hand, just off the ground, up and into the hand. So if I have this in front of me, that's the threat. Push it here. Now I can thrust with 2 hands. This, you don't have much time to react. Here comes the threat. They're running in. Boom. Maybe it's that dog. straight in, straight down. That works. Even more powerful, into the backhand thrust. So the first way to carry it is like a walking stick between you and the threat. It's in front, point the thumb, thrust. Either pushing and like this, like a pool cue. You can extend the distance between you and the threat. Let's say he has a knife. The threat has a knife. All you have is a 5-foot stick, right? That's a really good option. Maybe you're not as tall as I am. You have a 4.5-foot stick or a 4-foot stick. The point is, his blade might be 9 inches, maybe 12 inches, maybe even if they have a machete, 12, 16, 18 inches. You still have a significant reach, power advantage. You have reach and power advantage. You don't want to let them close the gap. So from here, first way to hold it, front hand, point the thumb, push, point the thumb, thrust. That backhand, using the front hand as a guide to aim your strike. Push it wherever you want it with the front hand. The front hand does the aiming. The backhand, that's your power hand. Now watch what I do here. At the end, I turn it up. Turning up locks it into this joint position, joint lock position, so that when it goes back, your whole body moves with it. If it stays here, you're gonna lose your distance advantage. So when you can, lock it, turn it over, turn the front hand over. And when you can means when you practice it that way. Front hand push, turn it over, and then practice creating more distance. You can even go backward with your body to get back farther from the knife, farther from the dog, farther from the threat, and create that distance. You can use your body to move out, or you can move your body to go straight through that target for self-defense and destroy everything. Number 2, second way to carry it is in the backhand. If it's in the front hand, immediate. If it's in the backhand, here's the same version of that. From here, you come up to here. Point the pinky side, the back side of the hand, that little 5-bone structure there. It's really hard, right? Lift from here, point that. Bring that other hand up and in so you can control it. My favorite first opening technique for self-defense is always going to be a straightforward thrust. I'm going for the knockout. For self-defense, if you can knock them out on their first strike, do it, right? If you can create distance, interrupt their pattern of thought, interrupt if they're a thug, if they're a punk, if they're a creep, they're out used to hurting people, intimidating people, putting people into this position. All of a sudden, there's a big stick in his face. Then you've just interrupted his pattern, his expectations. It's not going to happen. It's not going to go down the way he expected it to. You're walking, minding your own business. He gets too close. This is up. And then without hesitation, because you don't know, does he have a knife? Does he have a gun? Is he going to pull something else out? Does he have 2 or 3 friends? You're going to have to hit this one, strike that one, come through here, strike there. You don't know. So if you know it's a self-defense situation, straight in, right? Straight in this way, creating as much damage as you can. Go to the eyes for self-defense, throat, solar plexus, into the stomach, into the groin, into that vicious dog. You're out for a run, minding your own business. And that brings us to the third way you're going to hold this medium-sized martial arts staff, Joe, Japanese Joe, or it could be a hiking stick, a walking stick, could be a branch that you picked up because you found yourself in a position where you're not sure what's coming, what's around you. Your spider sense is tingling. That's a real thing. Your sixth sense tells you you need to prepare so you don't have to panic. You found a stick, piece of pipe, PVC, whatever it is, you're running with that, or you're walking with that. Front hand, back hand. Third way, just like this, 50-50. It's right in the middle. From here, just comes across your body. Now, you have 2 ways you can put your hands on it. Either push-up position or in this way. Both ways are good. They're different. One does one thing, the other does the other thing. But not one is good and one is bad. It's not good, it's not bad, it's not superior or inferior. It depends on what's the target. Because that's a question you have to ask yourself. Target acquisition, target selection, target understanding. What are the targets? When it comes to self-defense, we talk about principles on top of, disrupt their motivation to attack you. You took away, they're used to seeing this. Because most people, they don't know this. They think fight or flight, right? It's really fight, flight, or freeze. Most people freeze. They freeze because they have no plan. One of my favorite mentors, Pat McNamara. I don't know if you guys have seen Pat Mac, T-Max Inc., TMACS.INC. That's his website. Find him here. He does he does different videos. I'm a fan of him in personal in training, one-on-one. He teaches a lot of combat, self-defense kind of stuff. I won't say the words, but he's a brilliant guy and he's highly experienced where it matters, right? Anyway, he says the sheeple have no plan. The sheeple have no plan. Maybe Tim Kennedy said that. I don't know. Good morning. It's good to see you too, Phil. But here's the point. You'll either prepare or you have to panic. And when you panic, most people will freeze. They don't run away. If you prepare to run away, then you can run away. They don't fight. Most people don't fight. They freeze. So if you prepare, then you'll know either run if you can, hide if you have to, run, hide, fight. Remember they came out with that a few years ago with all of those active shootings, active stabbings. Run, fight, flight, or hide. Run, fight, or hide. Maybe it goes the other way around. Run, hide, fight. Because he says, at the end, if you have to, you're going to have to fight. But that's all. Those three choices are preparation. The non-choice, the unchoice, the sheeple choice, sheeple for people, right? The sheep follow, the wolf dog is out there, protect them from the sheepdogs, protect them from the wolves. The sheeple have no plan because they haven't prepared. You're preparing. That's what you're doing here. You've got your stick. So you're gonna have three options. You don't have the fourth is a non-option. Freeze, get beaten into submission, get stabbed, get shot, get whatever. The other choices are run away, hide if you can, if you have to, fight. Be prepared. This is preparation. Practice is preparation. Learning is preparation. Training, this is training. Training is preparation. You have your stick in this hand. Here's the threat. You can bring it here, striking through the back. You can jab if your hand is in the other position, just like that. Bayonet attack. For those of you who went to Marine Corps boot camp back in 1905, like I did, and you're in the crucible, and that guy comes running in, boom, and you can still picture, like I can, that guy going like this, flying through the air, smashing against the back of the crucible. Crucible now is something else, I think. It was just like a little pit, right? You had to run through the forest, and then you got in there and you were waiting, and if you were fast, and you were decisive, and you took immediate action, because you started martial arts when you were a little kid, then you were, and you knew how to use one of these. The other guy didn't have a chance. The other guys, because there were a lot of them. And he comes running in, boom! And that's gonna be you, immediate, direct, and explosive. Hold it in this position, hold it in this position. Doesn't matter, you can jab this way, you can jab this way, you can bring the backhand through, under, lift them off the ground, sweep the legs, back the other way. And the whole time you're not doing the fancy Joe. You can if you know how to do it. That's awesome. But learn that next. Learn first. Number one, practicality. How to stick fight. Yes, the Joe is a very intricate, delicate, fancy, beautiful weapon with lots of very esoteric, meaning like interesting and different, and aesthetic, meaning very pretty to watch. Moves, right? Super cool things that you can do. Sliding here, and bringing it here, and bringing it up here, and then in, and down, and back, and sweeping. I'll teach you all that, but first, understand 3 ways to carry it. Let's review real fast. Front hand, you're walking down the street, point your thumb, thrust, strike, bring it through the middle, bring it down on top, bring it down, sweep it through. Simple is best, always simple. Oh, also, you can bring that backhand this way. You can bring that backhand down. You can bring that backhand up. Just practice sliding from side to side. Number 2, in the backhand. The backhand, the thread's here. It's no longer in my front. I bring it up, pointing. Thrust, straight into the face. Slide the hands down on top, through the side, other side. Take out the legs, through the middle. Home run. Your hands stay apart though. Don't bring them together. You can, but understand that when your hands come together, you create a pivot point, which is the purpose in baseball and in golf, but not in self-defense. You want to be able to stop here and come back and come here. That's going to require hand separation. Never this, always this. Always at least one hand, never wider than your shoulders. Too wide, perfect. Too close, perfect. for this kind of weapon. You can practice this, getting it back and forth, hand to hand, not taking your hands off ever. Third way to carry it for self-defense, you're out for a run. Or just walking down the street. Now this, I gotta be honest, looks more menacing than this. This just looks like you're just one of those people who likes to walk with a hiking stick. Or maybe you're getting ready for when COVID goes away and they start opening things back up and we all get to travel and backpack through Europe and go hike and climb the top of Kilimanjaro with our hiking poles, go down to Machu Picchu and go climbing up Machu Picchu to see what the ancient Aztecs, or maybe they were the Inca, I don't know, but the First Nations people of that area. Or maybe you go for a, what do they call it, walkabout in the outback. Whatever it is, you get my point. You're carrying it in the hip. But now we have it here. Third way, from here, you just bring it up. Or you bring it in. So from here, if that threat is the animal, just slide it in, right? Create some distance. Or bring it here, slide it through. By the way, when you're turning this hand's doing the turning, this hand is sliding along. As it slides, it's increasing the speed because you're also pushing and sliding. So it's gonna come a lot faster through the target. From here, it's in the back hand, or it's in the front hand, doesn't matter. Either way, you're here thrusting. Think about your targets. Eyes, mouth, nose, throat, all for self-defense. Throat, solar plexus, that spot between the belly button and the groin, or stick it in the belly button. That's the center, the core of their being. That's the very first, where everything's split out of. Stick it there for self-defense, right? They'll never forget then. If you ever been hit in the belly button, you know what I'm talking about. Put it there, lower, groin, vicious animal, knee, thigh, and then swinging, right? That clearing motion. Let it slide through your hands. Punching. A vertical or a horizontal motion. Through the eyes, through the neck, through the body, through the vicious dog or other animal. Coming through in the backhand. And I haven't taken my hands off. You don't have to take your hands off. You can have thrusts. You can change hand positions this way. This is called hand walking. And you should practice hand walking when you have time. And you should practice sliding. Start on the ends. Slide one in. Slide the other one in. Turn it over. Slide the first one out. Slide the second one out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I've experienced something here in sunny South Florida with the high humidity that I never experienced in dull gray Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to show you what it is. These things get tacky because I get extra sweaty. Let me show you one thing, because you asked me, so what happens when your hands are so sweaty you lose when you're practicing, it gets too tacky, it doesn't slide. Let me show you real quick. There it is, gym chalk. I know, I have this because my daughter likes to do the gymnastics. We get the gymnastics bar here. It's just gym chalk, same thing. Powerlifters use for lifting the heavy weights. And then all of a sudden, all that tackiness goes away. Now I can slide. Look how smooth that is, right? That's just a tip for free. You guys are so good to me, I wanted to give you something for free. Sliding, well, I do all these videos for free, but. Oh, and I got another new Patreon yesterday, and I want to say thank you very much to all my Patreons. It's slow but sure, but it's growing. The Patreons, and all you guys who give me the stickers, keep this site going. All your comments, just watching. Just go into my website, pasquinelli.com. That gives me so much, and I'm so grateful for you guys when you do that. pasquinelli.com, if you see something of interest there, click on it. Could be an article you want to read. Maybe there's something there you want to learn more about. It's mostly videos, but I put all the videos on there so you can find them. So this is just a practice to get good at, you know, I might strike here, but then I have to, oh, I just lost it. I might strike here, but then I have to switch to here. And then that's why you have to practice. That's why I continue to practice, because it's a perishable skill. It doesn't go away forever, but it's like they say, you know, once you learn how to ride a bike, you'll always know how to ride a bike. Yeah, tree resin is really good, but it's good for grip. It's not good for slide, in my experience. You might have a different experience, but that's why I like the chalk. The chalk makes it slide and also keeps you from losing your grip so much. You also just need practice. I need more practice. They say, you ride the bike, you'll never forget, but I'll bet if you haven't ridden a bike for 20 years and you get back on it, it might take you 10 or 15 minutes to feel like you're not gonna fall over and crash. Good morning, it's good to see you. Side to side, smashing, back and forth. That's always the practice. But again, you only need 3 ways to carry it. Front hand, point the thumb, thrust, strike, strike. Backhand, lift, thrust, strike, change hand, strike, punching through, and then carrying it like a stick. Going for a run. There's so many runners and joggers, and they talk all the time. I don't know how many times, I've talked to so many runners, people that I know who are like runners, they run like 20, 30 miles a week. They've all been bit or chased by a dog. It's not right, it's not fair, right? They don't go taunting the dog. There's a dog in the neighborhood, a dog on the loose, or whatever, or a pack of dogs. This is a way. You don't have to hit the dog. You can just create some distance. But if you had to, if it's 2 or 3 of those pit bulls, and they've been abused by the owner, because I'm not blaming the dog, but they've been abused, and the owners got the COVID, and they didn't feed the dog broke the chain, they're out looking for a meal. And you go running by, tasty, right? Not for me, for the dog. And you happen to have, it's better than those little running pants you got on, right? It's better than nothing. You got a little running pants, a little running top, a little running singlet or something, your running shoes, and a stick for self-defense. Create some distance. I was thinking back to all my Ranger friends who run in the little Ranger shorts, and all my Marine Corps friends who run in the little Marine Corps shorts. That's not gonna help you much with the dog. It's too thin, the material. But the big stick, that creates some distance, gives you some leverage. It just gives you, it's a force multiplier. There's a military, thank you so much, I appreciate that. There's a military term, force multiplier. This is your force, there's your multiplier. A big piece of red oak. Again, if you wanna see what these look like, go to the first link below and see how much. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're back in the martial arts. Welcome back. We all belong here. Martial arts is made for us. Grab yourself a staff, go through this again, and do it as much as you can. Watch this video. Please share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that everybody says you're supposed to do. And I appreciate you because you're making this grow. This is our community. It's a fast-growing community.